Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In The Mixer as we continue our Hashtag United series. How good is that intro? First episode where we've had it right at the start. Please go and support Rick_Triangles on Twitter or howmanytriangles.com. Check out his work, absolutely phenomenal. I love it. Now, eagle-eyed fans will have already noticed, but there's nothing there, but I'll Photoshop something in. Hashtag United have clinched the Eastern Counties League Division 1 South title with a 1-0 victory over Halstead Town. We crushed them in that game, nothing to do with it. We did the double. We did it with, I think, like 7 or 8 games in hand in the end of the season. Fantastic for us, winning that cup competition, winning our first league as well. Everyone responded really positively to that. We've been on a great run since. Of course, in that last episode, beating Lopez Tavares and Burnham Ramblers, we then followed up with a 3-1 victory over Hackney Wick, a 4-0 win over Harwich and Parkeston, a 2-2 draw with Brightling Sea Regent Reserves. They were second in the league at the time. We went ahead and missed a penalty in this game. Tom Williams with like his 3rd penalty miss of the season, I think. For us, Ingano did get injured, which was a bit of a pain. And you can see here, they initially pulled one back in the injury time of the first half and then got their equaliser in the 89th minute. I probably should have adjusted to a cautious mentality in the second half. But again, we were the better side. They were very fortunate, I felt, to be in the game at that point. Then we clinched the title with a 1-0 away win against Halstead Town. Ryan Adams, who's been in a very rich vein of form over the last few weeks, getting the goal in that one. We then beat Little Oakley 1-0 at Harry Honesty in the 2nd minute. Again, another situation where we dominated the game of possession and proceedings, but we only found that one goal. But a return to form in our last match against May and Baker, Daniel Adji, Harry Honesty and Ryan Adams all getting amongst the goals in a 3-0 win, which puts us in great stead. Now, there is something that I'm not going to say it directly, but there's something that rhymes with Sinsensibles, and we are on track for that still, but I've never done it. I think I've done it once, but like forever ago in a very old version of Football Manager where it was a lot easier to do and there was less like tactical complexity, so you could just set a good tactic and forget about it and just run through the season. I haven't done it, I think, in the last 4 or 5 versions of the game itself. So we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to acknowledge it. We're going to get through our games in this episode against Fire United and Braintree Town Reserves, and then perhaps when we get to the last game of the season, we can have that conversation and talk about it. But until then, I don't want to hear a word of it. I don't want to see any comments down below. I don't want to get tweeted about it. I don't want to hear a damn thing, all right? We don't talk about it, okay? Okay, so looking at the lineup we're going to go with here, Andy Cade-Watts, our now championship-winning captain, in goal. Ross Gleed at left-back, hidden behind my head. Ricky Evans and Marcus Stamp as a central defensive partnership. Ricky Evans is wanted by a couple of clubs at the minute, but he's hanging around. He loves the club. He wants to be here. Kane Brogan play on the right. Singano is out for a couple more weeks with an injury. He's worked his way back. He's just not fit yet. Scott Pollock, remember the name, and Lee Hursett as our central midfield duo. Tashane Richmond, player of the season at the 10. Harry Honesty, our leading scorer this season on the left wing. Charlie Morley, our leading assist maker on the right. Daniel Adji will play up top with Harrison, Williams, Adams and Brown on the bench. I've inadvertently skipped past the team for Fire United, but they're 19th in the league. How good could they possibly be? Assertively tell everyone I have faith in them, that they can make a difference. The defence has responded really well, which is good to see. We did win 5-1 the last time we played Fire United. I'd love to get a similar scoreline in this game. Here we go. Free kick from Harry Honesty from deep. Played towards Daniel Adji, who hits the post, and it's Foster that hooks the ball away for Fire United. It's going to be Morley now to take the corner. Plays it in towards the area. Harry Honesty has been tearing it up. Hurst it back out to Pollock. We can switch it out here now to Daniel Adji. What's his crossing like? Puts it back stick towards Harry Honesty. It's headed away, and looks like Sona's going to scramble that one away for Fire United. So first real highlight either way, and thankfully it goes to us. Still yet to register a shot on target in the first 20 minutes or so. Here we go. Throw in to Kane Brogan on the right-hand side. Flick down towards Charlie Morley. Goes back to Brogan. Back stick, ball. 23rd goal of the season for Harry Honesty. He has been way better out of the air than I ever anticipated him being in this game. Just lovely work triangle here between Tashane Richmond, Charlie Morley and Kane Brogan. He just hangs the ball up back stick. Looks like Honesty gets in front of his man. Great header into the top corner. Keeper couldn't do too much about that. And 23 goals this season. He's our leading scorer, and he would quickly be catching up with the leading scorers in the league thus far. Okay, the first half's come to a close, so not the most exciting half of football that we've ever put together, but we are winning, and they are yet to register a shot on target with just over 30% of the ball. I know everyone's capable of even more than what they're currently doing, but the defence hasn't been bad because we haven't seen anything. So let's see if that can be a little bit of a nudge for everybody to go out and, kind of gear up a little bit in the second half. I feel like there's more that we can do. Here we go. Goal kick from West. Long one forward. Should be Ross Gleed's ball. He wins it and heads it back, but only as far as Forster in the Fire United midfield. Ed plays it out wide right to Sona, who puts a deep ball across, and Cade Watt comes out and claims without any issue. Do we have a counter-attack set up here? It's a long one forward towards Daniel Adjie. Can he bring the ball down? Instead, it's headed away by Owusu, but only as far as Tashan Richmond. Looks for a crossfield switch to Harry Honesty. It's a great ball, and it's the second goal of the game, 24th goal of the season for Harry Honesty. That connection between Tashan Richmond and Harry Honesty has worked so well for us throughout the course of this season. And he just picks a ball up in a kind of nothing area. Fire United don't get out to him quick enough, and he has enough time to pick a ball out, finding Harry Honesty in behind. And it's a good strike, to be fair, low and hard across the keeper. Maybe they could have had their angles a bit better, but I'm going to take it, and it's going to put us 2 goals up. We might also use that as our cue to make a couple of subs. Charlie Moore's not playing that well, so we'll bring on Ryan Adams. Daniel Adjie has been a peripheral figure throughout the second half of the season, to be completely honest with everybody, so he can come off. And we might hold the last sub up our sleeves until the last few minutes and see how everybody's doing from there. We'll also use a shout and we'll demand more and see if that has any positive impact on the team. There's a lot of complacent looking people out there at the moment, but everyone seems to have found focus after that one, which is great. All right, highlight here. It's going to be Caffrey to take a corner for Fire United. Do we have a counter-attack on here? It's Tashan Richmond carrying the ball away. He's got men on the far side. If he can find a switcher across in, he is tearing past players. There's 3 in the middle. He picks out Ryan Adams. What a run that is from Tashan Richmond. He picked the ball up essentially inside his own 18-yard box, carried it the length of the pitch down the left-hand side. What a player. He's only 3 stars. That's what he's rated, and he is just tearing this league apart. What a fantastic run that is. And there were 3 men lying up there. It's Ryan Adams who gets the goal, his 16th of the season, which is, to be fair, a phenomenal turnaround for him. He was probably going to start at the 10 until Tashan Richmond started having the season of his life. And he still managed to chip in with a bunch of goals, a bunch of assists in a limited impact role. 3 minutes to be added on now. Not the most exciting game that we've played this season in terms of the quantity of highlights that we've had, but Tashan Richmond running the length of the pitch to get the assist for the 3rd goal is as good a contribution as I think I've seen so far this season. There is one more highlight here. I dare say it's just the last one of the game. Evans heads it toward Gleed. He looks up the line, but there's nobody really there. Goes back to James, to Owusu for Fire United. Harry Honesty's applying the pressure well into extra time. Tremendous fitness from him. West with the long ball forward. Won well by Marcus Stamp. It's pinballing around. Surely the referee's about to blow full time, and he does. A tremendous 3-0 win. Really nothing to complain about then. Well done, lads. Good win for us. I think it's tough. I don't know if they work this into the game, but I'm sure on some level it comes in. When you've already won the league and won the division, it's tough to keep everybody motivated and everybody wanting to keep going till the final whistle. And we haven't really had that issue. We had one draw that was very late, and Brightling Sea, to be fair to them, are one of the better sides in the competition. But other than that, we've just steamrolled pretty much every side, even since we won the title. Now, magic of editing, we're going to jump ahead a couple of days to the game against Braintree Town Reserves. All right, and just like that, we are a week ahead, and you can already kind of see Braintree Town, because they have that relationship with the Braintree Town senior side in the National League. They have some decent players ready and available for them. So they've got Greaves in goal. It's Gabrielle behind my head at left back, Street and Frimpong as their central defensive partnership. I think Christian Frimpong is Emmanuel Frimpong, the ex-Arsenal player's younger brother. Christy Patterson at right back, Lydia Delaverde, who is a winger from Fulham that's been around this, or that started his career at Fulham, that's been around this level for quite a few years now. Cass, who has the shortest time between scoring in the league itself. We were looking at bringing him in maybe to replace Dan Brown if he retires. He can play midfield, can play at the 10, can play up front. Rapage will partner him and Rowe on the left-hand side. Grant at the 10. Barrington will lead the line up top, who I think is an ex-Stoke junior from back in the day, Big Marcel. So they've got some good players about them. This will be a decent test for us. We are naming an unchanged lineup. Farai Singano is the closest we have to a ready player to come in, but I don't want to rush him. There's no real need. Recent form standings have had Braintree Town in 8th while we're in 1st. Let's show them why. But we can already see, I think they've dropped players back into the side for this game today. They're currently sitting, I think it was 4th it said, and the play for that those playoff positions is super important. So I'm sure they want to push their reserve side as high as they can. Alright, throw in here for Braintree. It's won back well by Lee Hursett. Tashan Richmond then loses out, but Scott Pollock recovers. Daniel Adjie with the ball now. Plays Charlie Morley in on the right-hand side. Harry Honesty is on his bike on the far post. If he can get there in time, it falls back to Daniel Adjie, and that is a fantastic goal for his 11th of the season. Pretty sure this is a left-footed strike, hitting the ball first time as it comes to him at the top of the 18-yard box. It's going to look good in 3 dimensions. I'm digging the away kit style that we've got with the yellow socks at the minute. I think usually it has blue socks. It's cleared away, and that is a right-footed strike correction. But yeah, still fantastic. Found right in the top corner. Keeper wasn't doing anything about that one. And we're a goal up inside 5 minutes. Throw in now to be taken by Ross Gleed. Played inside to Scotty P. Finds Tashan Richmond at the top of the box. He gets his strike away. It hits the crossbar, and Christian Frimpong hooks that one out for a throw in. So we look lively. It's good to see. Alright, throw in now from Gabriel. Played to Rapage. Inside to Cass, who we spoke about in the build-up as being a decent player. Comes to him now at the top of the box. He looks for a crossfield switch, but Harry Honesty is going to clear it away. Frimpong plays it out wide to Patterson, who's made an overlapping run. It's a deep ball across, row back stick, gets his strike away. Cade Watts, I think, with a fantastic save there before it's hooked away by Ricky Evans. It either hit the post or Cade Watts came out with a phenomenal save. Either way, the clean sheet stays intact, but you can see there's a bit more danger about Braintree than most of the other teams that we play. Brougham now with a free kick. Played inside to Hursett. Back to Brougham again, who's coughed it up to Rowe. Is there a counter-attack here on 4? No, Scott Pollock with a great tackle wins the ball back. Finds Harry Honesty now on the left-hand side. Tashan Richmond's there if they can find him. It's a tackle back to Harry Honesty. 25th goal of the season for the flying left winger. He is absolutely on fire. And in the second half of the season, he has just been tearing teams apart. I think he's now overtaken Tashan Richmond in both the league and the club for having the highest average rating in the game thus far. So it's Richmond gets tackled by Gabriel, and Harry Honesty stays alive to it. Keeper probably could have done better and blocked his near post, but I'm going to take the goal regardless, and we go 2-0 up. Alright, Delaverde with a deep free kick now. It's headed by Barrington, I think it was, but hits the bar, comes down, and Ross Gleed hooks it away. So there's still a danger that they're presenting. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half. They don't really have anything in terms of like big match scores that I'm worried about. They've got 2 players on yellow cards, which we're still in the first half, so that's a concern for them as well. But there's been a couple of highlights now that just have me a bit worried that if they pull something back here, they're going to get right back into the game. I'm desperate. I know we said we weren't going to talk about it. We're not. This isn't the episode where we lose it. Alright, assertively, I'm going to say you might be winning, but that could all change if your performance levels drop. Everyone's responded positively to that, so we're going to start the second half immediately. Give it our usual 10-15 minutes, look at subs, and see how we're tracking from there. Alright, we're about an hour gone, so I'm going to look at 2 subs here. They've got a couple of players on yellow cards. We now do as well. I don't want to get caught in a situation where we go down to 10 men or anything like that. So we'll take off Ricky Evans. He's on a yellow and only on a 6.6 rating. Jack Harrison will come into the middle. Actually, I'm immediately going to change my mind on that one. We'll bring Tom Williams on to play centre back. Not his favourite position, but he can do it. And I'm going to take off Scott Pollock, who's only on a 6.6. Remember the name. Still only 17. Still tearing it apart in this league. And we'll bring Jack Harrison on just to shore things up a little bit. And then we'll hold on to the last sub for another 10-15 minutes or so. They've both responded well to the team talks. They're both still in perfect morale, which is great because they haven't been playing a tremendous amount over the last couple of months while we've tried to bring through our young players. So we're also going to use a shout at the same time. And for me, I don't know what sort of feedback you guys are getting from use of shouts in this version. Get creative and demand more are the only 2 that I see consistently work throughout the course of an episode or throughout the course of a season. So we'll see when it comes through now. Everyone responds as focused. Then in the last 10 minutes or so, as they start chasing the game, we might switch to our cautious approach and let them kind of come at us a little bit more, and we might use get creative once we're in possession. In fact, what I might do is make that change now and switch to cautious, because you'd think that if they want to continue securing their own place in the playoff positions, they need to come out and try and get some points here. Try and find an equaliser, try and do something like that. Because it's still super tight between Halstead Town in 6th, or even Lopez Tavares in 7th, up to Wivenhoe Town in 2nd. Like, there's still enough room that quite a few different teams can move around depending on their results over the last 3 or 4 games of the season. As things stand, we are 30 points clear of Wivenhoe Town in 2nd position, but they do have a game on hand, and Brightling Sea reserves in 3rd have 2 games in hand on us as well. Neither of them are going to matter, but it will have an impact on their positioning in the league itself. All right, 15 minutes remaining, so we might look at making our last sub. I'm going to bring on Ryan Adams for Charlie Morley, who's been a bit down on form in the last couple of weeks. He still gets himself amongst the assists and everything. All right, so Braintree have pulled one back here. This is the replay. Not sure if we caught the other bit in the capture. Patterson with the crossfield switch to Grant, and to be fair, he brings it down really well under pressure from Kane Brougham and finishes that one with his left peg straight past the keeper. So it sets up a tense last 10 minutes for us here. Our last sub is going to come on in the shape of Charlie Morley. And then we're also going to use a shout. And we're going to demand more, because the last thing I want to do is concede an equaliser late on. You can see just in the stat line here, they are a step above most of the other teams in our division. More shots on target than most teams we play against. Here we go. The ball's with Williams now to Gleed. A bit concerned with Williams' positioning at present if we lose the ball. It's Taché and Richmond with the strike from the top of the 18-yard box, and I'm not sure if the keeper got anything on it, but it did hit the post and come back out. So we're still doing a little bit, but I don't know why Tom Williams was over there taking throw-ins. He's playing centre-back. I just need him to chill. They've now also used their 3 subs. They've got another highlight here immediately, unless it's one for us. Patterson with the crossfield switch, which is where the goal came from. It finds Grant, the goal scorer, eventually. Inside, one back well by Taché and Richmond. We've got a break on here, 3v2 if we can find the right pass. Ryan Adams on the right-hand side. He's got men back stick. Finds Harry Honesty now. Gets his strike away. 26th goal of the season for Harry Honesty. What a strike that is. Absolutely belted the living piss out of that one. Phenomenal, phenomenal counter-attacking football. That's exactly how we're set up. And Ryan Adams here. Look at the backstick runners. We had Richmond in there. We had Adji in there. We had Honesty in there. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic counter-attacking football. We knew that they were going to push on up against us. We knew they were going to look for an equaliser. And thankfully, we made that switch to the cautious approach to kind of lull them into that false sense of security. But that should hopefully put that one to bed. They're talking about Reece Grant pulling all the strings. I don't think he's done that much. He's on an 8.3 though, their highest rated player. They made all 3 subs and left all 4 of their yellow carded players on. It's amazing that they haven't gone down to 10 men at some point. 4 minutes have been added on. I assume that's because of a lot of the fouls that we've seen. 17 fouls apiece for both sides is absolutely massive. You wouldn't expect to see 17 in a total game, let alone between both of the teams with 17. Throw-in now by Brougham, only as far as Ryan Adams. Back to Brougham in the corner. Just need to hold the ball up here, lads. Don't need to do anything silly. We are now at the end of the additional time added on. And has the referee should hopefully be about to call it. He does. Harry Honesty, absolutely fantastic. His goals in the second half of the season have clinched this promotion run for us. And that was tense. You could definitely feel a much bigger step up because they had those reserve players in for the Vanarama national side. Very happy with the result and the way that he played. But the likes of Barrington, Cass, who we already spoke about, Frimpong, those people playing in a reserve fixture, they should be playing in higher division. So really good vindication for our team and how we're travelling and the style and the way that we're set up at the moment. The tactics working out really well. Way better than I ever could have expected to for the first season that we're playing in the series. So quality of possession provides victory, a 3-1 win. Had 59% of the ball, 16 shots to their 11, but usually the gap is much, much bigger. So a good one, a tense one. Probably one of the more close games we've seen in this series on these episodes in Season 1. Harry Honesty, again, superb. He has to be up there in terms of competition leading scorers. Let's actually just have a quick look at that, see how everyone's tracking going into the last couple of games. So he's currently sitting second in the leading scorer table. Brotherton from Burnham Ramblers currently on 26 goals. Given that they're struggling and only in 8, that's pretty impressive from his perspective. Hopefully Harry can continue his goal scoring form and get up there. He is leading the league in average rating, has just creeped ahead of Taché and Richmond, and Tom Williams, who hasn't played that much in the last few weeks, still maintaining a really high average. Assists, Ryan Adams and Charlie Morley, both up towards the top of that one for us, which is fantastic and super impressive given that more often than not they're competing for that right wing spot against each other. But we're well and truly on track. It's been a phenomenal season. Even if things do go south in the next couple of episodes, we're guaranteed promotion, we're guaranteed a championship. There's nothing to really worry about. I think we'll come home and just do the Coggeshall United game in the next one. We did draw with them 1-1 earlier in the season, so it'll be a good chance for us to finish on a high and having beaten every team in the division. And then the second half of that episode, we'll probably do like a season review, go through everyone's stat lines, how everyone performed, who we think is going to stay, who might be looking at retirement, who's going to switch from part-time contracts to non-contracts, all that sort of stuff that happens in lower league management. We'll go through at the end of the next episode and set up our transfer strategy for the off-season and where we need to improve and where we need to get better to make the jump up into the Premier Division. More than anything though, guys, I hope you are enjoying the series so far. Thank you to everyone that keeps putting comments down below, watching the videos, liking them, whatever else. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on future videos as they come out, or you can follow _FM on Twitter. Please also go and check out our key collaborators. Their details are in the description below. Guys like Rick at How Many Triangles, Request the Kit, the FM editor Steve, they all do phenomenal work. The series wouldn't be happening without them, nor would it be happening without #United's channel, so please go and check them out and support their content as well. As always though, I have been Sean. I will see you guys in the mixer, and don't forget to hashtag it.